Hello friends, so in this video we will cover how to use a Bitcoin node and work with Bitcoin RPC API. So this is the technical guide I have prepared. You can download this PDF from my Git repo. I will give the Git repo link in video also, so you can refer it this PDF from there. So this PDF has the all step for how to install the BTC node and how to work with the BTC node with RPC API through our Node.js project. I have written a Node.js project with a TypeScript, so you might need to install some TypeScript library npm packages to work with this program. So first step is to download Bitcoin node. So if you want to download the Bitcoin node, here I have given the link. From this link, you can download the Bitcoin core library. I am using the Windows 10 machine and using uh, in the Windows 10 I have installed Ubuntu as my subsystem. So I am going to install Bitcoin node in my Ubuntu subsystem. If you have the Ubuntu, you just need to follow the same step. So here you can download the tar file, and after the download this tar file, place it into your uh, user root folder. So if you want to go to the user root folder, just write cd and tilde, or just cd and enter, and over here here you can see this tar file already I have downloaded. And if we want to extract this tar file, then her command to extract tar file is given in this documentation. It is the tar zxvf and the name of our tar file. So this way we can extract the tar file over here. So this will create the folder like Bitcoin 0.21.1. In my case, might be on your time it gives the higher version based on the dependency on that time. Okay, so we have downloaded and installed our Bitcoin core library in local system. And if I go to this folder, here you will see this folder bin. Under the bin you will see the all executable file like Bitcoin CLI. Bitcoin CLI is a tool to communicate with our Bitcoin server, and to start the Bitcoin server we'll use this executable file. So before starting the execution of our Bitcoin node server, first we need to prepare the configuration file. So next step is to set up the configuration file to work with our environment Rectest. In this video, we will work with Rectest environment. We will not work with mainnet or a testnet. So you can download the Bitcoin CONF file from the given link. So this is the file of Bitcoin configuration. Bitcoin node configuration. You can just copy this file and paste it into this folder. Go to the cd tilde folder, and in cd tilde folder you will have the hidden folder like Bitcoin. If you don't have, then make that folder. And in this folder you need to create this file bitcoin.cnf. So you can create this file with a nano command if you want, and paste the content of this file to this file. I have already placed it content, and here you see in this file I have uncommented some like line, this reg test. If you see, this line is commented in the main document. but over here I have uncommented this line. Some line I have uncommented that required to uncomment to work with our server, Bitcoin node server. Second is the server one. So to enable the JSON RPC API call, we need to uncomment this line also, and we have uncommented the RPC username and password. So all RPC API communication are secure, and to make it secure we have used the username and password based authentication system. So to enable that authentication system we need to uncomment this line, RPC user and password. But first how to generate this credential are important. So here you see this file, they give this path shared RPC auth RPC auth.py, and uh, here we need to execute this py file with our Python library, with a Python command, and we need to just pass the username over here. So let me show you how we can do that. In my project, in under the script you will see the same file, and if you want to download it from the GitHub, then go to this share folder, and in RPC auth you will see this file RPC auth.py. You need to download this file from there also. So I have this file in my local already. So in local I see this file already I have, and if you don't install Python 3, then first install it. I have already Python 3 in my system, so I will use Python 3 to run this py file, and will give the username as input to this file, and it will generate the credential for me that I need to replace over here. Like RPC auth, we need to replace in this line, and this is the password was generated automatically. So I have replaced that one also here, and whatever the username we have given as input, we need to give that username or in this RPC user. So after this step completion, there is a rest test environment setting we need to do, and in rest test environment we need to give the RPC port. In my case I have given this port number. You can give whatever the port number you want to, and I have allowed all IP to access the RPC call. So, and for now comment this line, we later uncomment this wallet line. So first we need to create the wallet, and then we need to uncomment this line, so it will automatically load our BTC node automatically load the wallets that we have already set up next time when we start the Bitcoin node server in local system. So I will show you that part later in this video. So next step after configuring the Bitcoin node .conf file is to start a Bitcoin node server and create wallet and work with the Bitcoin CLI tool. So go to this folder and run our Bitcoin node server after setting up the bitcoin.conf file. So I am already, so let me go to the my Bitcoin installation dir, and over here I need to run this command, uh, bitcoin bitcoin d. So this will start the Bitcoin server, and if I want to perform some Bitcoin RPC command, then I can use a tool like Bitcoin CLI. Let me show you that tool. So in my installation dir, I need to run this file bitcoin CLI. So, and if I run any command over here, you see first this kind of issue like node wallet, using the node wallet wallet or the create wallet. So this create wallet is a RPC call to create a wallet, and if you want to reference the whole RPC supported call, then this is the link I have given over here. In this link, you will see the list of the RPC call supported with that with our BTC node, and here you find this command create wallet to create a wallet. So to work with a Bitcoin node, first task that we need to perform is to create a wallet. So we just copy this command from uh, this reference documentation, and let's run it over here. And after the running this command, the wallet has been generated. So after you generate the wallet, if you run back the balance command, now this error will disappear and you will see the balance zero over here, because currently we have not started any mining, so no block are generated. That's why it is zero balance over here. If we reference this document, here we have the RPC code like get block count to get the number of block so far we have created. So use this RPC call to get latest block number. So you see that it is zero, means no block is generated so far in our Rectus environment in our local system. So once we start the mining in local system with Rectus, it will generate the block. So I will show you that mining portion later in this video. First, we after creating this wallet, we need to configure back our bitcoin.cnf file, so it will automatically load this created wallet again, and not ask to create a wallet again. Okay, so I'm stopping the Bitcoin server with command CLI command stop. So here you see Bitcoin core stopping, and here in Bitcoin server you will see the message like shutdown. So our Bitcoin core server are shut down, and now let's change again our bitcoin.conf file. So go to the folder cd bitcoin, and here we have this file bitcoin.cnf. I am editing this file over here, and I am uncommenting the wallet line over here. We have created the wallet name test wallet. Here you see, so I am writing the same name that the name uh, that I have given while creating the wallet, and save it this file, and then go back to our installation Bitcoin core installation folder and run back the Bitcoin server again. So now this time if you see the console, you will found that a line like it will loading the our wallet file while starting the Bitcoin server. So now if I run the get balance command, it will not give the error that we see the first time, because this time with startup process it is already our created wallet are already loaded with Bitcoin core servers. That's why. So now next step is what next step is, let's record this file. So we have created the wallet and also edit the our configuration file. We have test RPC API call also, and these are the RPC API call. We work with a Bitcoin CLI tool. If you have the call enable in your system, you can use the call to perform this all RPC API call. Let me show you that also. So here you see we can use the Bitcoin CLI tool, or we can use the call over here. So if I copy this line and let me, so our username is Harshad in my case, and we are running in localhost, so the IP is same, but the port number is in our case the port number that we have given is which one it is? It is this one. So here I am changing the port number, and let me run this. And if you want to pass the password with username, then double quote, put the username in double quote and write the colon, and then paste the password after the colon. So in my case the password is this one. Which one is my password? My password is this one, right? So this way we can perform the same RPC API call with curl. Here you see the result, we received the 0. So we can perform the RPC API call with curl also. So next step is to set up our project. So you can download my project from my GitHub link. This is my project GitHub link. You can download code from here or clone the code from this link. I have already cloned in my system over here, you see, and in this folder structure you will found the file bitcoin node setup.pdf. This is the same file that I am showing over here. So you will found that PDF file in this repo itself, and all reference configuration file also I have placed over here. So you can use that file directly from my repo also if you want. So let me give the brief introduction about my code structure. So I have written this code with TypeScript. I'm using TS Node to run any command, and I have installed TS Node into the dev dependency. Here you see. So first you need to do is to, after cloning this folder, you need to run npm I to install all dev dependency. So run the npm I command. I have already run that command, and so here you see this folder node modules. So it will generated after running this command. So after running this command, you will have this folder node modules, and let me show you the main source file that we are going to run in this video. So these are the source file that I total 6 source file I have created. So first step is to create a wallet. So to create a wallet, first we need to create some credential like mnemonics code and entropy. So we are using this library BIP39 for that to generate the mnemonic code, and after the generating the mnemonic code, we need to place it into our env file. In this repo you will find this file name env.txt.env. Rename this file first with remove the rename this file by .env. I have already done this over here, and then after run this file first. So let me run this file. To run this file, run I have written the run command on top of this file. So you just need to paste it in a console to run this file, and after running this file you will receive the mnemonic codes and entropy value of this mnemonic codes. So first copy this entropy and open your env file, and in env file you will see the btc random key. Replace this random key over here. Okay, so after replacing the random key we are ready to create the wallet for our system. And so go to this file, create wallet. In this file we have this command in top of this file to create to run this file, and I am using mongodb. So first running this file, before you need to create a one empty database over here. So I'm using robot3 to create an empty database. Here I'm creating one empty database named btc node, and then after copy this line and paste into the console to run the file. So after running this file, you will receive the wallet entry into the database. So this file create the wallet entry into the database. If I refresh this folder, you will see that new collection are created with one document, and that document has these all fields, WI, public key, and address. So the new address that we have created is this one. And about WIF field, it is a private key of this address, and also this 020 pub key is our wallet address public key. And we have created this all thing with our mnemonic code that we have created earlier. So we are using that entropy to create this wallet. Okay, so about this code, let me explain this code in brief. I have created some helper class. That helper class work as a library class to interact with a database and BTC RPC node server. So BTC helper is a class to that make the RPC call to our BTC core server. So in this helper class, you will find the function like create wallet, where we pass the user ID. And the first time when I run this file, I have passed the number 1. So this is the input of creating the wallet, unique wallet. So you can pass any numeric value in this function to create a unique separate wallet each time. And this is the code to create a wallet. And after uh, and I have used the library like BIP39 and this Bitcoin Core JS library to create the wallet. Also, I have the function like send Bitcoin, get wallet balance. These are the all function that I have created under this helper class to communicate with our Bitcoin node server. So basically, this is all RPC API call I have implemented in the Node.js. And other helper that I have created is like a wallet helper. Wallet helper is a class that interact that I have created to do work with a database, especially with wallet collection. So here you see the method like save wallet, get wallets, save wallets to save a newly created wallet into the database. Same way we have the getter function like get wallet to get any specific wallet detail, and if we want to get all wallet detail, then we have the get wallets. And about the database schema, we have the folder models. In the model folder, we have the two model classes schema, one for wallet, one for transaction. In wallet schema, you will see the field like address, public key, WIF, and time of wallet creation. All the things I have defined under the wallet schema. Similarly, for a transaction are performed between the wallets. So in the sender ID, it is a reference of a sender wallet. In the receiver ID, it is a reference of receiver wallet, and the transaction has the amount. So we save that transaction amount. In this field, we have the field like fees for how much the transaction cost was applied while the transaction. We save this value inside this one function. Each blockchain transaction has the number of confirmation. We are storing that confirmation. Each blockchain transaction has a hexadecimal hash value that we store into this field. And we have the type of a transaction like withdraw or deposits. Basically, we have this type of transaction. So we are storing that value inside, and the time of the transaction we store into the created on field. And to interact with this model, we have this helper class that has the function like save transaction and get transaction by ID, save transaction to save newly created transaction into the database. And if you want to retrieve any transaction data, we can retrieve it from this function get transaction by transaction ID. Okay, so in this code, you see that I have used the BTC helper to create a wallet first, and once the wallet is created, I have used the wallet helper to save that wallet into the database. After the we save that wallet into the database, we are closing the MongoDB connection, and we just print the done in console that you see over here in console. And here you see the first newly created the wallet address. So till now we have not started the mining. So for mining we need some address, so we just use this address for mining purpose. So copy this address value, and in the project you will see the sh file called generate_block.sh. In this file, replace the line number 5 with a newly generated address. And after saving this file, we can start the mining. To start the mining, go to the script folder in my project root, where you see these two files, generate block and rpc.py. We have already discussed this about this file. Now before running this file, give the proper permission to this file, like use the command like chmod to give the proper permission to this file. And I'm using the window machine. So if you are using the same window machine and work with Ubuntu as a subsystem, then you also need to download this package DOS to Unix. So install this package DOS to Unix, and after editing this sh file, you need to run this command in a console DOS to Unix, and give the sh file name to convert that file into Unix format. After converting this file to valid Unix format, you can start the mining. So this is the code to create a mining block. This is a simple code that generate 10 block every minute, and all rewards are goes to this address that we have given in line number 5 as an input to this file. So let's run this file, sh file. So here our mining has started, and these are the first 10 blocks generated. So if I go back to the CLI tool and run this block count command again, you will see that now we receive 10 block over here. Before it was a 0, now we have the 10 block. So every minute it is creating the 10 blocks. Okay, so next thing is create a second wallet, so we can perform some transaction also. So create the second wallet. To create the second wallet, go to this file, create wallet, and give the some new number, pass the new number in this file, and run this file again. So here we have the mining running. So we rename this console as a mining, and this is a testing console. I'm running create wallet again, so it will create the new wallet with for this member, second member. So now if I refresh the wallet collection, you found two new document, second new document with new address. So now we have the two wallets. So we can make a transaction from first wallet to second wallet. And at least we before running the transaction script, at least we need 100 block has been generated. So till now 30 block is generated. So I am changing this minus 8 and increase the number of block count temporary to generate the more number of blocks, and then closing it and reset it to 10 back. Okay, so now if I see the number of block count is 140. Okay, so before the making any transaction, first we check the how much balance we have into our wallet. So for that we have this script, and we will pass the wallet ID in this file. So open the robot 3t, and robot 3t copy the wallet ID and replace this wallet ID over here. Comment this line and then run this file to get the balance of our first wallet. So if I run this file, it will show the number of Bitcoin that our main address holds. So this is our address that holds this much BTC, and if I use this ID instead, second wallet ID, and run get balance script again, it will show the zero. So the first wallet has 2500 Bitcoin, and second wallet has a zero balance. So now we may or we will open this script, create transaction, and this script has two input, sender ID and receiver ID. In sender ID we give the address of sender wallet. So our main wallet has first wallet has a fund, so we use that address as a sender address, and second wallet doesn't contain any funds, so we use the second wallet as a receiving wallet. And have used the send bitcoin function to uh, create the transaction, and then after we use this transaction helper to save the newly generated transaction into the database. Let's run this file. Okay, so a new transaction has been created, and this is the transaction ID, newly generated transaction ID. And here you find the block has also. So note down that block has is a number is a block where we store this transaction into the blockchain. So note down that a block has in your file somewhere. So let me show you one. If I use this RPC call get block and pass that block has, I will see that block detail, like how many confirmation that this block has received and what transaction it includes. And if I refresh the database, here you see the transaction entry. Actually, no need of this block has. We need to run the command like get transaction information first to get the transaction information about this hash. Uh, let's go to this reference file. Here we have the RPC call get transaction. We use this RPC API call to get transaction information. Okay, so this is the transaction information we have, and here we have the block hash. We need this block hash for our deposit script. Okay, so this is the number of block where the this transaction are included. our transactions are included inside this block. And block height is a number of block where our transactions are included. Okay, so next script is to get a transaction confirmation detail. Uh, in this script, we give input transaction ID as an input to this script. So copy the transaction ID from document DB and give it to here, and then save this file and run this command. So it will show the number of confirmation we have received for our transaction. We have received the 50 confirmation here so far, as we are running the mining into the second cell. So we have received the 50 confirmation, and this is the block hash we received. Same block hash using this RPC call. So next script is if we want to fetch this transaction as a deposit to our system, then how we can do that? So I have created this script to retrieve any transaction as a deposit to our system. So for that we what is the procedure of retrieving any transaction as a deposit is we first need to get the latest block number. So for that I have this function get latest block count defined in this BTC helper. We that use RPC API call to communicate with BTC node server to get the latest block number. Once we have the get a latest block number, we will get the block hash, and then after we receive the block hash we have the that block detail, and inside the block detail we have the all transaction included into that block. And for each transaction each transaction has a two part input and output. And so in output section we will search the address that is our receiving address. And if we found any address which is our receiving address, then we input that transaction as a deposit to our system. So let me run this script. First I need to change this block ID in this function. Our block ID is this, and then run it again. So what does deposit script do? Suppose this wallet we this is our receiving address, for example. So if we want to see any transaction, if we want to find any transaction into the blockchain where this is address inside the output of the transaction, then we need this kind of script in our system. So here you see the multiple entries. So this is the transaction we have fetched as a deposit for this receiving wallet. We have covered in this video we have covered how to create the wallet, how we can create the transaction, how we can get the transaction confirmation, and how to write the deposit script, also covered in this video. Hope you understand it very well. Thank you for this watching this video.